Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome to Overtime. This is Maricel Casino Rivera, and let me welcome Attorney Oscar Oca Moreno. Sir?
Salamat, Chel. Salamat, and good afternoon to you, and good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Overtime. Overtime is a daily program, Mondays to Fridays, at about 1:30 in the afternoon for an hour, but with overtime in, I would say, every case. And we've had this program since July 1 of 2022. And we thank our Suki for staying with us, joining us every afternoon, early afternoon for our overtime program. And wow, Sel, ang atong topic this afternoon is something that really shows the rise of Cagayan de Oro. How did Cagayan de Oro grow to where it is now? And as the convergence center, the center of trade and commerce, the transport hub, the education center, the leader of Northern Mindanao, no, and the hospitality center.
Yes.
And let's focus on that because through the group, Cagayan de Oro has become, again, a good destination for people from outside Cagayan de Oro. A destination to spend some time, or a destination to just for a few days or weeks. Now let's, Sel, please have the honor of introducing our special guest this afternoon.
Yes, thank you very much, Attorney. And our guest this afternoon is originally from Manila, and he has carved an impressive path in the hospitality industry, bringing both local and international experience to his current role as General Manager of Seda Centrio, a graduate of San Beda College. Sa mga San Bedans pala itong kasama ko.
Yay!
It was verified.
He began his career in revenue management and operational roles with renowned brands like Dusit Thani Manila and Limery Jeddah. Over the years, he's held key leadership positions, including Director of Rooms at Crimson Resort and Spa in Mactan and Holiday Inn in Dubai, Al Barsha, and most notably as Director of Operations at Quest Hotel Clark, where he led a team of around 250 people, driving revenue growth and operational efficiency. He's known for his commitment to community. In Cagayan de Oro, he has been an active member of the Ayala Business Club, where he served as president for almost 2 years, collaborating with local organizations to support sustainable business practices. His hands-on leadership approach and genuine investment in the people has created a lasting mark on both his team and the industry. He's a devoted father of 3 who enjoys spending his spare time playing basketball, o talaga mga basketball enthusiast pala to, with associates and friends. An avid coffee lover. Para ka rin si OSM, coffee lover rin. He's also passionate about road trips, often driving to new places to explore local attractions and cuisine, especially lechon, one of his favorite local dishes. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome again the General Manager of Seda Centrio, isRhett Lionel Villaruz. Sir, good afternoon. Welcome to Overtime.
Well, yes, good afternoon. Thank you for having me here, Ms. Cecil. And Mayor, Attorney Mayor, pero you'll always be my mayor, kaya Mayor ang itatawag ko sa'yo. And again, for those who organized this one, maraming salamat po for having me here. Mga kahigala, maayong hapon sa inyong tanan.
Yes.
Salamat kayo. Thanks.
It's a pleasure, Mayor. Pleasure.
Sa San Beda pala, where he took his college, hindi masyadong yung red ang dinig, red lion eh. So in school, he was called Red. Okay rin, okay rin, Red.
Well, yeah, the story behind that one, Red, actually, it's an American name.
Yeah.
Red Butler from the famous Gone with the Wind. But only few people would know that Red. And having a hard time to explain, I would just accept na, okay, Red na lang. That's my nickname, so that's how I get to be properly known. And
Pero ato sa i-trace ang kuan niya, ang roots niya, ang Villaruz are from
Rojas City.
Rojas City,
Yes.
sa Visayas. Pero ang kanyang mama, Sel,
Hails from Dumaguete.
Maribao family.
Yes.
From Dumaguete, Negros Oriental, no? So, Bisaya ka. Isa lang sa east, isa central.
Yes.
Ang west pala, west ang kan.
Yep, it has been there. So, well, unfortunately lang po na I couldn't like really speak the dialect or the language, especially the Bisaya. But I easily understood it from the very start. Because growing up, that's how it has been. My dad would talk in Ilonggo, my mom would talk in Bisaya. So, kind of like having the best of like all the Bisayan dialects.
And you grew up in Manila.
But I grew up in Manila.
Ilan kayong magkakapatid?
Tatlo.
Like, ang ilan?
The eldest.
You're the eldest.
All guys, all boys.
All boys, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And where in Manila did you grow up?
Well, first when we were growing up, we were in Quezon City.
Okay.
And later on, relegated to briefly in San Juan and Pasig. That's where we're kind of settled right now.
Okay.
And two siblings, and then me being the eldest. I was the only one who studied in San Beda, actually.
The
other two were mga archers. Green.
Lasal sila. Mukhang kontrapartido,
Yes. Luckily, they didn't play na sa NCAA. And they were in UAP.
Yeah, UAP na sila. Otherwise, you would have been in opposing camps.
Otherwise, it would have been like really chaotic in the household. Solid San Beda.
Yeah. Ano talaga, maganda ang samahan sa San Beda, Sel.
It is.
At that time, all boys pa rin.
All boys during our time.
Yeah.
Really all boys. And then we had that proud or the bragging right to be the last all boys school back then.
Pero sa amin, Rhett, class 75 sa College of Law, meron ng babae.
Oh, yes.
Meron ng babae.
Yes.
And then, first batch, Sel, where admitted na ang ladies sa law school. Ang first batch, ang valedictorian, babae.
Kitsa man na, would you say?
Si Batch de Gea. Aurelia de Gea. Right, ito siya. Ang iyang ba na, si Kaloy Galarita from Aluvid.
Ilani mo.
Of course, classmate na ko. Alam. Yeah. De Gea katong G-liner. Alala mo yung G-liner sa Quezon City. Sa kanila yun.
I think they're still flying that route.
Yeah.
It's still
De Gea and ano ba ang San Beda kasi is not a big campus, no? People know everybody and maganda ang samahan. Maganda. And competitive.
And very unique.
Very
being an all boys
Oo.
school back then.
Oo. And ngayon ba may co-ed na ang college sa San Beda? Hindi pa rin.
Even in high school. But the grade school and high school transferred to
Alabang na, di ba?
sa Rizal. No, they kept the San Beda campus. San Beda
I see.
College, Alabang na sila. Where before it used to be like this Benedictine Abbey school. But a few years back, that Benedictine Abbey school became San Beda Alabang. And then the grade school, high school, in the old Menjola campus, are now in Rizal, somewhere in Antipolo, Rizal. So it's purely College of Arts and Sciences and law school.
Ang layo na ng
Ang layo na po. So
elementary,
high school are now in Rizal.
Wow.
And at our Menjola campus is
College
of
and law
Arts and
school.
Sciences, and then all those different school of discipline.
Yeah.
They retain that one there in Menjola, and plus the College of Law.
Yung chapel nandun pa.
Of course, the famous Benedictine Chapel. It will always be there.
Ano yan, Sel, yung chapel sa San Beda is very solemn. Very solemn, no? Right inside the school, but along Medjola.
Yes.
Ano pa, yung bamboo organ pa, di ba?
Yes, it's still. I
Bagoong.
believe it's still there. Yes.
Oo. And ang ganda talaga. Very, very solemn.
Yeah. Plus the Gregorian
Yeah. Oo.
artistic something at the
Oo.
ceiling.
Papasok ka doon, ano ka na, maano ka mabuhi ka ba? Oo.
For those bedants who went there,
Oo.
no matter how filthy or naughty you are, but when you enter that chapel,
Talaga.
you get to be
Mabuhutan.
solemnized or something. Talaga, you have to behave
Ah,
because it's
Mabuhutan
like
ka.
really quiet, like a typical how
Yeah.
a Benedictine monk would would serve just the church or something.
Oo.
Really quiet, really solemn. It's that's why we're known
Yeah.
as like men of prayers and peace. The Benan.
Yeah. Ano yan? Hindi naman malaking-malaki, no? Tama-tama lang. Pang eskwelahan. And, wow, na-miss ko tuloy sa Veda.
We'll visit it on one of these days, Mayor.
Yeah. Doon sa may I used to study doon sa field.
Okay,
Well,
this
I used to smoke. Kaya
Okay.
doon ako sa bawal kasi manigarilyo doon sa library noon, even then. No?
yeah, I think I know where that place is.
Oo. We're facing the field, and of course, the student population that time was not that huge, no? So, ano yun, maganda field, football field ang imong pag-study ko niya, tubangan sa football field. And beside the football field is the swimming pool. Where champion NCAA swimmers in Ral Rosario, sino pa ba yung
We have
yung
a
mga
long list of mga decorated swimmers.
mga San Beda.
Pretty much like the whole, it was a really a good, we had a very effective athletics department system from all kinds of sports.
Now, after graduation, saan ka napunta na?
Well, right after graduation, I hit the road and then end up working in a hotel. Which,
Sa hospitality business ka na?
it kind of like brought me here, so I guess that was kind of like a calling.
ito na calling ka talaga sa hospitality business.
Ano ang course mo sa San Beda?
I took up business management. And then honestly, growing up, didn't really have a solid plan of how do you kind of
Saan papunta?
yeah. So I don't know. Some of my closest friends went to the banking sector, pharma, marketing side, and things like that.
Yeah.
Few of them tried their hands in law school, things like that. And I was one of them who said okay, where am I going? Right? And all of a sudden things opened up, and I found myself working at Shangri-La. And that was Shangri-La, Mactan, Cebu.
Okay.
Yeah. Applied to Makati for some reason, ended up being chosen to open Shangri-La's Mactan Island Resort.
It had just opened that time, siguro.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
and it was through a friend, a higher classman, who said hey, there are opening recruitment going on with Shangri-La.
Nice hotel.
And I tried. Yes, it was. And quite happy and blessed that I had that upbringing in the Shangri-La way, because they were the best in Asia. So it was fitting, being an Asian hotel, Asian brand, and you being Asian, and then putting it all together. So
and training
and everything, the training, of course, and being a premier hotel back then. So you were lucky that similar to how thankful you are when you had it bed and upbringing. And it was really solid and Shangri-La. So it was definitely a blessing back then that we ended up. And there was no turning back then.
So nag-enjoy ka na sa hospital. And then from Shangri-La,
went back to Manila, joined the Heritage Hotel.
Heritage, yung
Heritage,
sa
At the end of
sa Rojas Buendia.
Yeah.
Yes. No.
Is it India or?
Corner, the last EDSA Ross Boulevard.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
believe,
yeah,
yes.
EDSA,
Ross
yeah.
Boulevard and
Oo.
at the very end, just
Yeah.
around the corner.
Oo.
Yeah.
Malaki,
Heritage Hotel.
malaki rin yan.
Yeah, it was big, it was busy, it was the number one hotel back then because of being its proximity to the airport,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
the leisure side and the business
Yeah,
side of
yeah.
things. So it was one of the best alternative back then
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Makati. So we had like a very good business mix back then,
Oo.
and very popular amongst airlines also, being the closest to the airport.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's very easy. We had those airline crews, layovers, and stuff like that.
Ilang taon ka sa Shangri-La?
That was like
Siguro.
4 years, I believe. 4 years.
Oh, not
4
bad,
years.
Okay rin. Ano
4
pa
years.
rin?
And it was, I could have like stayed there. Definitely enjoyed my time. I had the best of both worlds. Shangri-La na, and then at the same time being in a resort.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so it was really a fabulous location. But at the same time, I had to like move back to Manila because my family was still based in Manila.
Yeah. And siyempre, kahit na nandun ka sa resort and all that, pero nalulungkot ka rin di ba? Dahil,
yeah, it finally caught up with you then. You're right
oo.
about that, Mayor. And then no matter how beautiful the place
Yeah,
is, but
yeah.
home is where your family is
Yeah.
always. So that's it was a tough decision back then, but it was something that needs to be decided.
Sa Shangri-La, what was your job?
I started at the front desk.
Sa front
I started
desk?
at the front desk.
Wow.
Front desk clerk. So I was part of the team who normally welcomes
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
you know, and then so yeah, that's where it all started. Definitely in the operations front office in particular.
Yeah, yeah.
And and enjoyed it every minute, every shift, or every day that I've been
Ganun
there.
din yan, yung lalo na sa mga ganung hotels, very exacting ang ano dyan.
Sure.
Ang standards, very, very exacting.
Absolutely.
You have to learn to smile even if naapakan na yung paa mo.
You said it right, Mayor. You got it right.
And then sa Heritage,
Continuing my career at front office, still with the same department, then on a senior capacity supervisor.
Supervisor na.
Supervisor.
So ano na, na-pirate. Piracy number 1. Muna to. Pinirate siya ng Heritage. So, basta ganyan, Sel. Ganang business, very competitive. Kung i-pirate ka, at least times 2, times 3 na. Oo. Very competitive. And dili biya sa'yo mag-train. So, na-train na, there's a premium already.
Yeah.
So, Heritage, ilang years ka sa Heritage?
Heritage, roughly 3 years. Then that's because during the time, I decided not to, if abroad was like really popular, things like that. Got persuaded by one of my closest friends. Like, okay, why don't we try it? Went abroad.
Saan doon?
I went to Dubai.
Dubai.
Then,
okay.
And briefly until the general manager, who was kind of like reshuffled at the very last minute, and then he opened Le Meridian, Saudi Arabia, and he kind of like handpicked us, hey.
This was in Dubai.
Briefly, and then said hey, why don't you go with us? Why don't you go with me?
Yeah.
I really like the way you work, things like that. So first, it wasn't really appealing because of all places, Saudi Arabia, diba? But then again,
of course,
with some friends,
the excitement, the thrill, and
then the opportunity again to open a hotel, to be part of an pre-opening team.
Sinong may-ari nun sa Meridian?
Meridian, well, it was it was owned by, of course, a rich sheikh.
Yeah.
A family named Al Maghrabi, where they were also into real estate. Hotel was one of them.
Wow.
And then they had supermarkets.
Wow.
They had a big, but the money really came from the buses. So they were like uh, the rural of dito sa Mindanao. So that's where the
mga
families were really
transport
but
leaders.
more on the provincial buses. So
Yeah.
that's where the
Ang
money came
galing,
from until they
galing.
branch out. And then that was their first business hotel venture.
Ilang years ka doon?
Oh, that's where I stayed the longest, roughly like what, a decade, something.
Oh, umabot ka 10 years.
Yeah. Or
You
is it
must
like
have
even
enjoyed
20?
it.
Yeah, and then surprisingly, it was really kind of like a humbling experience then, because first you underestimated the city, like
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia, everything, but it had everything that you need. I mean, because primarily you went there not really to have a good time, and I was already married back then.
I see.
So, I mean, I had a nice career. It was like really kind of like picking up at the right time, and then I had like basketball was also there that really kept me
Filipino
Filipino
basketball.
and then sometimes we get to play with other
Yeah.
nationalities because I guess basketball is something that you cannot take away from any
Yeah.
Filipino. So
Yeah.
give them a ball, sometime a makeshift court or something. Mag-enjoy na yan.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was Saudi Arabia was like really
And
worth it.
what did you do? Doon sa Meridian ba yan?
Yes, Legenda Meridian. First, I was assigned at the club floor. So club floor is like I guess the best way to put it's like the business class of an airline. Right, you have the economy, the business class, so you get to cater to that premium paying guests.
Okay.
So high end and things like that. So I got to be a manager there.
Oh,
And
wow.
then somewhere along the way, that's where I first I got curious and tried my expertise and things like that, and branched out to reservations revenue management.
Okay.
So it was like it was the in thing back then, and so yeah, I can say that I was also blessed to have that wonderful experience to harness my skills and expertise at the front line, and at the same time I was given a break.
Yeah.
On how it is at the back end of things. At the heart of the house thing. So, which kind of like made me the manager that I am today.
Yeah. Revenue, take care of your receivables.
Yes.
Yeah, and
because more or less like the front office is more of like the guest relation skills.
Yeah.
Like putting a
happy face.
Happy face, no matter let's say what kind of like headache you're going through or whatever.
But revenue side,
a
serious face.
Really crack the numbers, and then it really made you understand like.
Yun ang nakakatakot yung mga numbers.
True. That wasn't like really easy. You're absolutely right, Miss Cecil. And then, but then again, that there was like a wealth of like knowledge that that's like waiting for you, for you to learn.
While in Saudi Arabia or Dubai, while in the Middle East, you could still visit your family in Manila.
Yes.
And
in fact, what really made it like really worthwhile for me then is the fact that at the latter part of my stint in Seda, I was able to bring my family there.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
So when I became a manager, when
you could
certain
bring them,
entitlements, privileges, and stuff like that, and at the same time,
housing and all that.
Yes. So it was economical to. I
Yeah.
could have brought them at an earlier stage, but it would have been like really wise and economical for you. But when that break came, so I had a chance to. So they were with me also for like 3 to 4 years, something like that.
3
to 4.
3 to 4.
4 years. If I'm not mistaken.
And I would say those were the best years.
Yes, anytime again that you're with your family,
sa pamilya.
it made us closer because You were in a foreign land,
Yeah,
totally
yeah.
different setting. Your faith will be tested.
Yeah,
You know, the resiliency in you
yeah,
will
yeah.
also be tested, and then so yes, it
And
was
you would spend your weekends together.
together
As a
together with
matter
other
of, yeah,
families.
yeah,
Basketball court on the
yeah, yeah,
side, picnic here on the other side.
yeah.
So yeah, it was
You know,
worthwhile.
between 82 and 86, I was assigned to Hong Kong.
Okay, okay,
And there was this deposit taking company there of the group.
I
No?
see.
And that was during the Hong Kong crisis, no? Economic crisis,
The
and all
Asian
that.
crisis,
The
yes,
Asian
yeah.
crisis. And I went there initially alone, but then after a few months, family joined me. And those were the years that I really enjoyed the beauty of family life.
Okay,
Because we would, on weekends, magkasama kami.
yes, Mayor. Yeah,
Oo, simbahan, and then after the mass, we would have lunch
sure.
outside.
Yeah,
Ano yun? The best years. Pagdating na, uli na kami sa Manila, hindi ko na nakikita yung mga anak ko eh. Kaya I used to, when I came home, 84, that was every Sunday, I would make it a point to go to San Beda to play
to play
basketball.
basketball.
And I would bring my kids there. Ayaw pa nga nilang magising eh. Dahil early morning.
Early morning, yeah.
Ginigising ko na. Para just for us to be together. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Maganda yung,
That's what it's
maganda
all
yung
about, family.
Middle East assignment mo. At nadala mo pamilya doon. And then,
Yes,
you had an
yeah,
international
the grace of God,
exposure.
yes.
International exposure.
yeah, it did. It was really a big. It was a big.
State-of-the-art technology na siguro yun that time.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Mm.
It was picking up, and well, that's the beauty of like working the hotel setting. You know, the trend for you to cope with those latest trends has
Yeah,
always been
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So of course, I mean, being abroad back then, and then Legend of Meridian was also the time when it was taken by Starwood Hotels. So at the brief period, I think they had the biggest or the largest number of room keys. Being so they were part of that American portfolio, Starwood, and of course we were technologies and everything. You know, you have to catch up.
Management position ka na doon.
Yes, I was in a
Galing.
managerial position back then.
And then, after Meridian,
After Meridian, I went back to Dubai. Stayed there.
okay.
Yeah, so there was
Another group.
a group. Actually, during that time, it wasn't also my intention to leave Jeddah, but they had this like law that was that were starting to be implemented in a stricter manner in a way, because it was like a localization.
I see.
So they were like prioritizing locals, training them, and at the same time, it was a good thing. I also had that like job security in a way, because having proven myself to the owners of the management. But there was this like good or better break that came along in Dubai.
Another
How do you say it? An offer that you can't refuse. Something like that.
Another piracy.
Sort of like and then went to Dubai. Opened Holiday Inn.
Anong group naman yan?
Holiday Inn from
Holiday Inn.
Wow,
Okay.
from the Intercontinental
Yeah,
Hotels group. So from Starwood, Legend of Meridian to Starwood, and then to another like American company, and with a better position and things like that. So I took it. I took it, and then went to Dubai, and then I could have like stayed there, but sorry, I think that was the time when the Asian crisis like hit the Middle East badly.
Early
That was early 2000 something, or
1998, 1999,
1998. But I was there because I went
2006, 2007.
something like that because I went home
Yeah.
2008.
Yun.
It was
The meltdown.
yeah,
The
and it was like
meltdown.
really shaky. And
Yeah.
in Holiday Inn back then, like when I think that was in 2007, the span of like 4 months. You know, you woke up at the end of the morning briefing, something like that, and learn that you
This
haven't.
one is Holiday Inn. But is this the one in Dubai?
Nope, that's not
That's
the
not one.
one in
Not.
Barsha. That's
Pero yan yung
Pero
brand.
ang gina-
That's the brand. That's the
a
brand.
And then it was during my stint when we had. I think that was the old logo because that was the first Holiday Inn transformation. What made it like really interesting back then because you were part of like something new. Because Holiday Inn, I think that's a very popular brand in America, which is popular to like grandpas and grandmas.
Yeah.
Not with the with the
Yeah, the
existing
younger ones,
generations,
the
not with younger ones.
millennials.
So upon listening to them and then challenges being presented to you, so it just made things interesting. So that's the reason why I joined Holiday Inn. We opened at one, and yeah, during the crisis, we had like 4 different owners in the span of like in a 6-month period.
Bilis.
Yeah, because being sold to the other person, one after the other. So it was things got really shaky. And it also coincided with my daughter's graduation in high school.
In Manila.
In Manila.
I see.
So that's where the realization that like, okay, like having
Time to go home.
Yeah. Having been in abroad for like almost 12, 15 years, something like that. So I decided that okay, let me go home, be a dad to my eldest daughter, you know, and then to be there for her because she graduated high school in Holy Spirit, Quezon City, and then
As a Holy Spirit.
but Quezon City.
Quezon City.
Not the one beside
not in
us.
Mindiola.
Not in Mindiola. So yeah, and then decided to be a father, to be a dad to her. So I said, okay. Like I think I've like given enough to the economy in a way. So I decided to go home.
Yeah.
Okay rin. And then after that
one, okay, when I got home, when I was like testing the opportunities here, because I was told by my closest friends that like revenue management was like really very popular. Only few people get or has been exposed to revenue management. And but at the same time, my heart was telling me that I'm more with operations, being at the front line. So okay, well, like let's see. And then first I joined Ascot Makati.
Ascot.
In Glorieta 4 as a front office manager.
Okay.
But the hotel setting back then was because it's a residential apartment where you get to cater to long staying guests. So it's not like really your typical hotel operation where your guests normally stays in and out,
exclusive club, no?
Exclusive and like really long stay. You know, they check in, they stay with you for a year, 2 years, so you don't get to see them more often. So it's I kind of like sort of like that's the thing that I wasn't used to. So Dusit came and then offered me a revenue management role.
Dusit.
So just like across the street.
So Dusit.
Entertained the invite of the general manager.
Is that Pasay Road?
Pasay Road.
Pasay Road.
Yeah, Pasay Road corner Makati Avenue.
Basta EDSA and Pasay Road.
Yes. Yeah, so tried front office here. Tried what do you call this one? Revenue management. Because if you're in revenue management, you're like confined in an office. You know, numbers, data, interpreting, working closely with reservation front office to a
Ang,
certain extent, finance.
ang kadil mo yung may mga may utang.
Partly contracting, and then there was,
Yeah.
of course, online businesses that starting to be popular.
Yeah.
Yet I found myself like, look, the realization there was like, this wasn't me. I would rather be at the front
Again.
line. So I decided, okay, since I've relegated in Manila, like for good in the Philippines, so might as well like be involved in operations. So right after that one, I was given a break at Crimson Resort and Spa.
Crimson, Cebu.
Yeah, so it brought me back where it all
That's
started.
a big group, huh?
It is, by the Philinvest.
Philinvest Group. Gutianon.
By the Gutianos. It was their first hotel.
And they're from Cebu.
They're from Cebu. Yes, the patriarch. Very, kind people, very generous and things like that. Yeah. Stayed there for like 8 years.
Oh, tagal din.
Yeah, and then I got transferred to Quest Hotel Pampanga, which is also part of their portfolio.
Sa Gutianon Group.
Yeah, from
I
Philinvest. So it was like a continuation. It was a change of assignment.
I see.
So I was lucky that I was trusted by the owners, the operations people had, and then isRhett, it's like whether you like it or not, we're gonna like ship you like outdoor sa Clark.
Well, Clark was not a bad assignment that time, di ba?
It was. It was again another the opportunity again.
Yeah.
It was so diversified because this time it was not only a hotel operation, but we were also into golf because we also got the Mimosa Golf Club.
Yeah. So you were also handling the golf.
Partly. That's the reason why I said that I was more or less like handling 250 because as the director of operations. So we were actually all the managers were kind of like all hands on deck in terms of like running the business. And so of course I didn't know how to operate a golf course or a golf club. But yet we were helping each other out in terms of like running the.
But you had to study how to run a golf.
Yeah, but majority still of my work was on the
hotel side
because I was part of the renovation.
And it also gave you a chance to be closer to your family.
Yes,
I would imagine.
Yes.
And you brought them to Clark, or?
Well, they had the chance. They can easily travel. So it was kind of like vice versa thing. They go there. If they can't make it, then I go home over the weekend.
3-4 hours lang ang Clark, di ba?
Well, it was like maximum 2 hours with traffic back then.
Wow.
Back then,
because
that's when the road widening took place already. So I enjoyed it because it was a very short ride. And then the scenery was nice. And you go to the hotel. It was kind of like a resort feel, city hotel, resort type of hotel. Lush greenery surrounded by the golf course, 36 holes.
Wow.
And then a few villas back then. So, and a very big function room. That's why it's known as a Quest Hotel and Conference facility.
Must have been also very challenging.
It was. And that's the beauty of it because I would never like also take on something that wouldn't be challenging. So I mean, it wasn't like really my liking to transfer from one hotel to the other, but again, if there's an opportunity, a bigger challenge, for me to grow as a person, as an individual, and then learning the ropes on all aspects and things like that.
Galing. And after Quest,
that's when I got this break when Ayala called me.
Yeah.
Sort of like I was poaching this time in a very enticing position. Because ultimately, they after the few early rounds of like interviews and things like that, they decided to take me in as a hotel manager. and that's what you've been aiming for. To be that person. And I was also again thankful and blessed to the recruitment team, and then the group director back then, pretty much to the whole management of Ayala for the Mancom, for choosing you and trusting you to be the top guy to handle a property.
What year did you join Seda, the Ayala Group?
2017. And that was
2017.
Bago pa.
2017, but that was in Bacolod.
Ah,
When we
Bacolod.
opened back then, it was the 7th property
Seda.
of Seda.
oo.
So
Ilan na ba ngayon?
12.
12.
Yeah. So
Yeah, and wow, Seda Ayala started the hotel business in 2012.
the Seda brand, yes.
But before
back
that,
then,
there was
like the Intercon was their
yeah, okay.
the old Intercon, that iconic Intercon thing, where Intercontinental Hotel and Ayala's name. I mean, of course, Ayala was already huge. It was big, very reputable and everything. But on the hotel setting, the name got, I should say, like more popular in a way because of that iconic hotel.
But Ayala did not manage Intercon Hotel.
No, they did not.
No.
And of course, it was the Intercontinental IHG, Intercontinental Hotel Group, who was running the business, but it was sitting under.
And probably that was the arrangement that introduced Ayala to the hotel business.
Yes.
Because it was a passive partner in the beginning, but then it also
and then
started to learn.
Like if you're going to take it from the the directive again, coming from the new management, because we have a new president and CEO. Okay, who just joined us, and then his name is Mr. George Aquino.
George
Aquino.
Not Tony Aquino.
Not Tony.
Tony was with the property management group,
like
the Ayala Properties,
and
and water. Tony was also in water before.
Okay.
Tony Aquino, yeah.
So now it's like really developing this brand to be that Filipino brand.
Yeah. Let me ask you, although you may not, because you were not with Ayala then, no? But what made Ayala, what enticed Ayala, what attracted Ayala to the hospitality hotel business?
Well, it was from the time I joined, it was like really a matter of like a Filipino pride also, because again, it's having a hotel as owners was, I mean, this is something that not like that's new to them. But one thing that I saw that really made it like really compelling and convincing, for them when they set up this brand. So it's like we had this like association with international brands.
That has been the norm before, no?
And the beauty of it was like, why don't we conceptualize, a Filipino brand? Home of Filipino hospitality, seamless service, and that's the reason why Seda was coined. Because it represented like seamlessness, things like that. So they have the land, strategic locations and things like that. So why don't we build our own identity, of course, and to represent the, that would also embody the Filipino spirit, culture, and tradition. And that's something again that you want to be part of. Like parang sariling atin.
At ang ano kasi before that, parang I don't know kung sinong unang Philippine business group that decided to do it alone. I don't know, dahil parang norm dati, pag meron kang planong mag-hotel, you have to tie up with a foreign group.
Yes.
And of course, because the foreigners were foreign groups, well established worldwide, with many connections. So mga airlines already, captive accounts na yan. So the Filipino, the passive partner would only have to just sit back. No, sila na bala ang papatakbo. Pero ang laki rin ng share, royalties and everything, no?
Sure, yes.
Oo, and they never had it so good, no? Sa mga foreign partners. Pero to be fair, natuto din ang mga Filipino. Natuto. Until, yun nga, I don't know kung sino ang first Philippine group that embarked on this big-time hotel business, doing it alone. I don't know if it was Ayala or somebody else.
Well, I think I can proudly say that we're one of the at the forefront. Like when
ang
this
Gutianon group din,
started.
di ba? Ang Gutianon, did they have a tie-up with a foreign group? That
No, they didn't have.
So,
it was their own. But maybe what I'm trying to say is that it was, again, Ayala more or less who kind of like grew, expanded exponentially.
At saka took the daring plunge.
Yeah, I know there are a lot of like brands just like fast catching up. But I think we kind of like paved the way.
Yeah.
You know? And then that, again, just like what Mayor said, they can easily invest on those brands.
Yeah. Parang trailblazer.
Sure.
Mahirap talaga. And I don't,
yes, it is. It is.
Yeah,
it is.
Kaya 2012, ano ba ang business climate sa 2012? Dahil ang Ayala Land was the main subsidiary of Ayala Corp in real estate. No, pero yun nga, nakita nila in real estate, ang daming daming areas, land development, land management, etc.
Yeah, and
including hospitals. Pero ang hotel nauna.
Yes,
nauna
it was,
hotel.
again, that was part of the like the DNA, the gene of Ayala Land. Every time they get to establish or identify, then to establish an estate, that it's kind of like it would have all the like this mixed use properties and services.
Andun na lahat.
So you have those, of course, the mall, those hardcore brands, right? BPI definitely would be there, and then you have the more or less like the residential building group in terms of like those signature Ayala properties, Avida, for like those permanent residents.
Yeah.
And then attached to it, you would have the hotel for your like short staying guest. And so it's part of that identity that makes you. And then later on, putting everything in one. So that's when QualiMed came up, and then there's another health way.
Nakakaano din yung first Seda hotel that Ayala opened was in BGC. So ano yan, dahil part na sila ng consortium sa development ng BGC. And then what's really, sa akin, what's really revealing is outside of Manila, ang sunod na business nila na Seda was here in Cagayan de Oro.
You're right,
no?
Mayor.
Here in Cagayan de Oro. And that was in 2012.
2012.
So, ang ano nila, yung confidence nila in Cagayan de Oro, yung
I think, the level of confidence for them to open their second and third, I mean, I think understatement na nga po siguro yung confidence.
Talagay ko, ganun na rin ang malls, no? Dahil sumasabay lang yan sa malls, di ba?
Yes, eventually. I mean, yes, that has always been the like the blueprint of the. But true enough, if we're going to like go back and trace the how Seda grew, I mean, you have I guess more strategic places in NCR. Right? For you to set up your second, third, fourth hotel perhaps, but it was in Cagayan de Oro. So the people behind it were like really visionaries, because look at where we are right now.
Ang kwan yan, sa akin, ang medyo mabigat dyan na I would say lesson is, and that was right after Sindong. Sindong was December of 2011. So I'm sure the plan was hatched long before Sindong happened, no? Pero
True.
nangyari na yung Sindong, and yet Ayala did not reconsider. Ayala stood firm on their plan.
True. Yes.
To push through with Seda. The 2000, the Sindong catastrophe was really, it was to a certain extent a game changer.
Yeah.
Mabigat ang ano noon dahil certain flaws surfaced with Sindong, no, yung disaster risk reduction natin, etc. Ang daming daming weaknesses na nakita sa pero to me perhaps now it can be said, no, na in spite of what happened, I used to be in Ayala, kaya maintindihan ko how they would think, no. Ano yan Ayala, lalo na sa real estate, they don't decide by impulse. Wala yan very, very thorough, very, very deliberate, and very deep, no? Kaya tinan mo yung mga real estate projects ng Ayala, ang taas ng gestation period, ganyan, no? Pero when they decide to begin, no, to embark on it, talagang hinog na hinog na. Pero itong itong Seda, I'm sure they thought about, there were questions about whether they should proceed with that. Given what had happened sa Sindong, grabe, ang damage sa Cagayan de Oro was unprecedented, no? Pero still, Ayala decided.
Yes, in fact, coming over when I learned about my new assignment, joining SED, and of course research back then, and then Sendong was so infamous back then because of that, how tragic it was that affected the city. And briefly looking into it, you know, the management would have it like they were, of course, they were at the forefront in terms of like helping out and things like that. But just like what you said, Mayor, it's they were like really firm on their decision. Like, we're going to open the hotel.
Yeah.
Right. It was we kind of like paid attention to the other details in terms of like fortifying the hotel.
And you have to remember, Sel, that time ang flooding sa Ketkay area along Recto Avenue was almost a regular thing.
Sure. Yes,
that time, no? So, ang flash floods dyan sa area, it was something that already was to be expected. And then nangyari yung Sindong, no? Ano rin ako, no? Salamat na dahil nakita kong ito 2012. I'm sure in the boardroom, somebody must have said, are we sure?
Well, yes.
Somebody may have asked, are we sure we want to continue with this? Pero tinuloy pa rin. Well, probably what a suggestion could have been had at that time na, why don't you move it uptown? Pero wala na, nandyan ang mall sa babae.
Yes.
So,
it's been there na.
Ano na yun, they had to, in fact, continue with the plan sa Seda. That was to me, a leap of faith, no?
Yes,
talagang tiwala nila sa city. Tiwala nila sa city. Tiwala nila sa Northern Mindanao, no? Ano yan, kabisado ko yan sila. Grabe mag-isip, etc., etc. Pero once they decide, then ano yan, they are firm in their decision, no?
Visionaries, yes.
Yeah. Galing, galing.
How is it now?
Well, it's like this. It's been on December 29. This year is going to be our 14th year.
14.
14.
Yeah, yeah.
Overall performance, growth, financials would have it that we're one of those I would say consistent performers amongst the Seda group, right? And then right now, being on the 14th year, so the management is like considering in terms of like perhaps like worth renovating.
Yeah,
Something
yeah.
again that to look forward to.
Yeah.
So we are into that like discussion in terms of like, because ideally it's supposed to be like between a 7-year, 10-year.
And
It was
and probably you may already be thinking having a branch in Uptown. Is that being
okay.
discussed? Or I don't know. But that's something that because ang Uptown with the Manresa project, no?
Yeah, we heard so much hype and buzz about Uptown and things like that. But we do have our own kind of like strategic moves that we're keeping up on our sleeves and things like that. Because I mean, to putting it frankly, I mean, there's no way for us to expand in our in this current building.
Yeah.
There's just no way to like go horizontally and then to go vertically and horizontally. Definitely there will be an enhancement of the product. It's going to take place. Definitely growing, putting it some other place again. Maybe it's too early yet, but that's it's kind of like in the pipeline.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure. Ano yan, no? Dahil, siyempre, ang hotel business, is it being threatened by the B&B
Airbnb.
kind of thing?
It is.
Airbnb?
It was and it still is.
Yung condo, yung mga condo.
Yeah, it really undercuts the whole process. It has its like pros and cons, things like that. But yeah, I mean, we've always like when it became a trend, Airbnb is getting popular. Actually, to all how to say it, generations, young ones, millennials, or Gen Zs, and things like that, because the manufacturer, the economic factor would always be a consideration, for you to like really to treat your product. So it was, but then again, it's just really laying it out clearly in the open that it has its own benefits. Airbnbs and things like that. They definitely will come cheaper than a hotel, especially compared to us. But there won't be any like really service involved.
Yes, walang service.
Right? And that's where we get to capitalize.
That's right.
And at the same time, that's why the team, my hardworking team, always sees to it that we give more value to their money.
In the hotel business now, Rhett, are there new ideas, say, mga innovative ideas of, say, linking with condominium unit owners for
nothing really directly, because we get to operate on our own, and then but honestly, because of like the strong demand that we're facing in certain
so you have to
areas,
refer them to,
so we do, and we just we make sure that again that sort of like in this community, because after all, B&B, especially coming from Abida, those are their owning door units that still belongs amongst the Ayala. So there's like a synergy amongst us in terms of like helping each other, but not in a negative. Never that has kind of like I think that has
Tingin ko eventually darating din yan, especially pag big conventions. Like ito, how many condominium projects has
We have.
Ayala done? No?
Yeah.
So, kung ka na, pwedeng na-linkage with...
Oh yeah, there is. In
with,
fact, my director of sales and
Seda.
marketing here, si Carol, she has like a couple of people on her speed dial.
Yun.
Pagka nag-fully book kami. Kasi we can only accommodate
Yeah,
150
yeah.
rooms. Then you
I
have a
think-
convention in the city
Correct. Oo.
that has like close to 2,000.
Yeah.
And there will be discerning travelers who would like really choose
Yeah, yeah.
us first and foremost.
At saka yung referral ng established hotel like Seda can be a huge influence to those who are not familiar to the place, no?
Yeah.
Kilala nila Seda lang eh.
True enough, and
Oo.
that's exactly what the kind of reputation we have built. That's
Yeah.
why, at the, during the early stages of like those referrals
Yeah,
and things
yeah.
like that, like Carol, who's always been there, leading the team in terms of like finding a place for them. There might be like a sort of like disappointment because perhaps they won't get to stay. Their intention was to stay.
Wala ng room.
But unfortunately, for some unseen or controllable instances that they can't. But the mere fact it's being recommended by one of us,
Sagot mo na.
and then with our DOS of stature, so it's kind of like easy to convince them that okay, maybe they know, it's worth
Certainly.
trusting them.
Yeah, yeah. And
So
of course, they
keep it
can
100.
call you back. You recommended a
Oh, yes. And then actually, it also works the other way around because they would have like guests that who would really require a hotel normal setting service.
yeah,
Then they get in touch with us.
yeah.
So it's really about the community that you belong to, helping each other out, and things like that. Not really like being.
Yeah. And ang hotel ngayon, ang Seda particularly, dahil dito sa Cagayan de Oro ngayon, ilan ang ating mga 5-star hotels
in
the city.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if Lux is
Seda.
categorized as a 5-star, but we're only a 4-star.
Yeah, okay.
And there's a reason behind it. But Mayor, been a 5-star service.
I know. I always thought na 5-star kayo.
No, it's
a design. It's
by design, and then at the same time, it's kind of like part of the brand strategy, to
para
keep
yung
it intact, things like that. Because a 5-star hotel,
baka malaki ang tax sa 5-star.
that's another way of like looking at it, exposing yourself, and then at the same time, it's of course when you get to the 5-star, the amenities that goes along with it would also command a higher price.
Yeah.
So
you want to keep the price affordable,
reasonable, affordable, and reasonable
for business.
So that's the aim. We may be a 4-star, but definitely on a 5-star service that you can look forward to.
Yeah.
Staff is willing to give you.
And we don't have many 4 or 5-star hotels in the city.
No, we don't have. We don't have.
Yan ang challenge siguro sa next 5-10 years, no?
Yes, it's going to be challenging and very
Ngayon,
interesting.
I'm sure ang inyong reservation list medyo magaan ba or tight or
No, it's quite tight. Like month in, month out. Both for banquets and room reservations. And we're happy with our numbers. Again, well, most especially the bosses are happy. We may be happy, but if it doesn't please them, that's a totally different story. But it's there. I think there's always like room for improvement. And that's the beauty of it, that the team is like really open to that challenge. Like, okay, we did this one, we hit this one. Let's go for more.
Pero ano ang mga basic philosophies ng Seda Hotels?
Well, it really evolves around the home of Filipino hospitality. That's the whole brand. And then It's again, it's really innate to us Filipinos, how this hospitality thing. So it's really manifesting that that trait, and then providing a genuine service from the heart, and then through a seamless service, just makes it like really easier. It kind of like really paves the way for revenue, guest satisfaction, things that you can get to see tangible, and then the intangible things. So putting it all together, I would say that it's what the true Filipino heart is.
Pero ngayon, may mga times na ba, or how often does your lounge get full house?
Well, restaurant. Well, I could, of course, aside from the major.
Lalo ng breakfast.
Breakfast is a major congregation talaga.
Oh.
I mean, it's converging at times.
Some-
That's the reason why, again, we always make sure, through the passion of my chef, and then from the service staff, we make sure that it's really an experience, a journey for them to go through. That's to make it really worthwhile, because that's the only time like all of the hotel guests get to be gathered in one place.
Yeah.
So from the sumptuous, safe, and
then marami
festive
pang
mood.
mga bisita.
Yes, visitors, things like that.
Yeah.
So it's an experience that we want to make sure that it's really worthwhile, intact. And luckily, I mean, lunchtime and then dinner time is also quite popular, and things like that. And then I guess let me also take this opportunity. We have a new chef who just joined us.
Okay.
Very passionate chef, very experienced. So he has
Ano
this
ba
like,
ang
really
ano
wonderful
niya?
experience. He's more on the Asian side.
Asian.
Asian
Oo.
Yeah. Well, we haven't like really launched him yet because he's still new.
So you have a new chef na
We do.
ngayon.
We do.
Chinese ito or Filipino?
No, it's
Filipino.
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 But again, very dynamic chef. Can't wait to like really present him. But his food is there to be tried and tested. So, and then impeccable and reliable service.
Yes.
Like if you get to visit us, like every time you'll get to see the same faces, but then but it's that consistent service that you can expect from us.
ang ano din, notice ko sa Ayala Group, and even sa Seda, tumatagal ang mga empleyado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well paid naman siguro eh.
Alagang Ayala.
Alagang Ayala.
Yeah. And so, anong tingin mo prospects sa hotel industry the next 5-10 years?
Oh, definitely, like the way it has been, it's going to like really expand. It's going to be challenging, more diversified in more than we have ever thought. And that's pretty much up to us as the main stewards of the hotel to really safeguard that and be able to deliver that. It's going to be very promising, I think. The city itself, confining it in our city, in a lovely city, I mean, it's going to be challenging. There'll be a lot of challenges. I wouldn't be surprised if competition comes up left and right and things like that. But the positive effect of it, you look at it in totality, that's going to be healthy for the city, right? And then, and I honestly think that the city of Cagayan deserves more and better. So it's a welcome addition. And, with all this technology and everything, it keeps on like popping up, and then one trend getting to be out-trend by the other. So it's going to be there. So again, I can only speak for myself and for my team in terms of like, we're going to be dynamic. We're going to be one step ahead.
Very good.
And we're always going to give credit where it's due, and then we're going to give you more than what you richly deserve.
Yeah.
You know?
Rhett, the COVID pandemic has really
Yeah.
slowed down.
It has. It has.
But fortunately, the slowdown was not as severe as in other areas. No? Uh, I'd like to believe that we had managed it quite well. No?
Yes.
Now,
Thank you for your leadership, Mayor.
Salamat.
We got through it now.
How have we recovered? Or would you say na we have fully recovered from that already at this time?
Well, I can probably say, as far as like my property is concerned, that we did, that we were able to. In fact, like when I joined in 2019, 2019 was our banner year.
Uh-huh.
2019, and then, of course, we got struck by the pandemic. 2021, 22, partly open, things like that, inconsistency, stuff like that. And the barometer has always been 2019.
Yeah.
Pre-pandemic.
Mm.
Right? And 2023 figures would have it that we were able to surpass that.
Already?
Yes.
That's good.
We were able to outperform. And
That's
then,
good.
again, it only shows again how promising the city is.
Yeah, yeah.
The demand in all facades. You know, the diversity again, manufacturing, you know, consumer products and stuff like that. It's within here in our lovely city, and then within the northern Mindanao. And that's why it can only get, you know, really challenging and promising for the next 5 years, especially for the next 10 years.
And the biggest Seda hotel is in Quezon City, no? Or where is it?
Yes.
Vertis, is it? Or
okay, now my map would have it. I have to consult my
400 plus
BGC?
rooms?
combining, I guess, BGC, the two towers.
Okay.
Because
That
we
would be-
opened BGC having Tower 1.
uh,
And now we've opened Tower 2.
just beside
It's just behind each other. Sitting at the same...
in the same vicinity, the
lot,
same, yeah.
more or less. And
Okay,
then, so I guess putting it all together, I think BGC would have the most number for us. Though our lovely Seda Vertis North in Quezon City is the 5-star the 5-star brand that we have.
Okay.
So, but very close in terms of number of rooms.
Yeah. At saka ano yun, that's very close, the triangle, di ba?
Oh, yes.
Oo.
It's
a growth area.
Yeah.
And ang Seda Cagayan de Oro is 150 thereabout.
150 rooms.
150
150
rooms.
rooms. Capacity, sir? Ano yan? People, I mean, occupants.
Well, our rooms is built in having more or less like 2 bed types. King
So if you have
size,
150, about 300.
on an average, we cater to at least, you can say, safe to say, 220 guests in a day.
220 guests.
220 guests.
Uh-huh.
On an average.
Kasi,
So may single, may double. And then
Yeah.
a single bed, sometimes would have, let's say, a family of course, like...
Pero sige na mo puno.
yeah, puno lagi.
Sige
well,
puno.
yes, there are
Not bad.
times...
Not bad.
Yes, it kind of a good, of course, problem to have.
Kasi ang I've heard from the tourism industry din na pag may mga events, nagkakaproblema sa beds and hotel rooms kasi kulang. Kaya nagpo-prosper yung natin, Airbnb and condo,
True.
mga condo
Yes.
spaces natin na naka-Airbnb.
Yes, you're right.
Kasi kulang. Like let's say, I don't know, ilan lang ang ang Ketkay, ang Lux, tapos Seda, tapos yung mga maliliit. Kaya ngayon, ang dami pang nagpapatayo ng mga hotels eh.
Yes. Again, that only shows.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm sure there's like a feasibility study behind
Yes.
it. It's just like just because you have a money,
Yes.
you said so on. But the demand is there.
The demand actually is there.
Yeah, and then and it's again we're happy with the way things are. We don't like literally consider it's like a competition per se, right? But it's just really healthy. I'm personally glad that seeing this, like even from a small operator, from a medium-sized operator, and then if there'll be a more a brand to compete
Kasi
with,
mga conventions, pag ganyan, tinitingnan, pag may mga, di ba, conferences, tinitingnan, ano ba yung available ng mga hotels? Ayan.
And that's
So,
the beauty of like a working with Ayala, because it really goes beyond your
Mm, mm,
operating property.
mm,
It's really like how the community is, how you can give back to the community,
mm,
and all the major or stakeholders
mm.
that we normally associate with.
You are the president of the Ayala Business Club
I
here in
was
Cagayan.
the ex-president.
Okay.
Like I held it when after pandemic.
I see.
Yeah,
I
we
see.
did, and then but I'm still an active member of
Good.
it,
That's good.
because naman Ayala Business Club is
Mm.
always at the.
And they hold their meetings in Seda. I would take it.
Of course, yes, they do, and now it's headed by a fine young lady coming from the mall. Uh,
From?
from the mall.
From the
From Ayala
malls.
Malls.
That's
Yes,
good. That's
so
good.
she was the one who took over after my
Uh,
stint, and
uh,
it's it's solid as ever.
yeah.
And again, we've gone a long way after pandemic, because it kind of like we kind of like hibernate, of course, during the pandemic.
Ilan ang members niyo sa Cagayan de Oro?
Putting it all
50?
together with all well, in terms of like the working committee behind the four pillars where we get to operate
Uh,
based on the foundation of WABC CDO, or
Yeah,
our
yeah.
Ayala Business Club.
uh,
There's roughly between at least 15, 20 solid members,
Yeah,
the working
yeah.
committee. But in terms of like the population, considering all the business units, we're close to 400, 500.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
Ayala, BPI alone
BPI
is
is
like
the biggest group. No?
roughly what, 300
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
yeah.
And
And the
other
second biggest
subsidiary
would be
well,
what about the
I guess that
insurance
would
group?
be
They're already included
Yeah,
in the
they are
banking
part
group,
of
part
BPI,
of,
because there's like life, non-life.
bank assurance. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
MS Misotomo, and then the other one. And now that Robinson's Bank is also part of the portfolio,
Yeah.
and Banco, that
Yeah,
small,
yeah. The retail bank.
yes. So they grew bigger. So
uh.
I guess to answer your question, Mayor, I think the second most populous, I don't know, would be between MDC, I guess, or because Makati Development Corporation.
Yeah, construction
Maybe us,
company.
50.
Could be Ayala. MDCs, but they're considered
Makati.
as separate
They're
also
still part
a part of the Ayala Land Group,
yes.
but they are considered as also a member of the Ayala
Yeah.
Business Club. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So, lucky. Ang MDC, marami po silang projects ngayon in Cagayan de Oro.
Well, there's still, I think,
Avida is done, no?
Avida, and then what do you call this one? But there are projects still. Finished.
Okay. Yeah. Asan eh? What do you call this? The cold storage. Is
Yeah,
that
that's
the-
also part of the. Well,
That's a joint venture.
a joint venture. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was kind of like how would you say it, parang sponsored or something by Ayala, supported by. They don't have any like
Not Ayala Land.
like Ayala Land. No presence of like operation. It was something that, because I was there during the inauguration when Mr. Rene Almendras inaugurated the place, and it was like more of like one of Ayala's CSR activity in terms of like giving it to that kind of. Because I think we still lack that cold storage facility in the region. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, if that was the land or something that was donated or something, but nothing in operation that they have a major stake in terms of like say.
It's Ayala's way of getting its feet wet.
True.
Because cold storage is very important, especially in logistics.
Yeah.
And
considering the abundance that we have here in Northern Mindanao.
Yeah. So, wow. And you still play basketball?
I do, Mayor. Can't wait to play with
Laro
you.
kayo.
Yeah.
Oo.
Yeah, actually, honestly, no, hindi nagkulang si Mayor sa pag-invite. Every time I pass dyan sa 24 na yan, I would normally see him like running, ha?
Running.
Not walking or anything, like really running. And I was
Yeah.
like, talaga si Mayor, parang nakakaya maglaro. Makalaro si Mayor. But kasi
Laging nandyan sila sa
siya
24 eh.
Yeah, one of these days.
Tuesday.
One of these days, I have Mayor's number. Actually, hindi nga nagkulo talaga si Mayor na ano. Like, hey, kasi there was the time before pandemic, Mayor, you were considering of inviting sila NCAA and UAAP.
Yeah.
That was the time, I guess, between nag-meet sa final si San Ben and Letran. And then I think it was it UST and Ateneo back then?
Yeah.
Something like that. And we were trying to work it out. But
The best
unfortunately,
sa NCAA, the best sa UAP.
yes.
Yan, ganda sana
Lalaro
yun.
pa yan eh.
So doon kami nag-hate ni Mayor na parang basketball. And then, of course, not to mention that we came from the same
Same
school.
company, same school.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Kaya parang mabilis din nahulog ang loob ko kay Mayor Oka nung time na yun. Para bang it took one to know one, something like that.
Oo.
But, sisinias na si Shine. Overtime na tayo.
Alright, overtime.
By way of parting message siguro, Rhett, if you can ask for, ano ang mensahe mo sa, to the people of Cagayan de Oro, no?
Well,
yeah, please.
Okay, before anything else, this is really an honor, a big opportunity, for me to be here.
Yeah.
For me to be with you, Mayor, and then Ms. Cecil.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then, parang medyo na starstruck din ako. I've seen overtime, and here I am, sitting in front of your honor, your presence and things like that. Well, the message really is, taking it further from the way we got struck by the pandemic. I know we're way past it and things like that, but then again, as you can see, I think it's everyone's responsibility now to just really look after yourself and things like that. Be well, and at the same time, it's not surprising naman. We are in the city of like golden friendship, so it's always been there. It's really been accommodating. And me coming from an outsider, I mean, the way the city has has given the people in the city that's given me. I mean, thank you very much. And just like in my letter, I even consider myself retiring here.
Yeah.
Right. So I guess let's just be law-abiding citizens.
Yeah.
Right. Treat each other well, and promoting basketball. Not only basketball, but to be health conscious. I guess that's the key, because it really keeps you. Yeah, to be fit in a way. I mean, doesn't have to be basketball, but at the same time, any sports that you find yourself really that you find interesting, and I think it will be the rest will be taken care of.
Yeah.
A sound mind and body, normally translate to a law-abiding citizen or something.
Yes.
So yeah. Again, thank you very much, Mayor.
Salamat.
Yes, thank you,
po.
sir.
And yes.
Salamat.
Good, thank you. Really.
Yes, attorney.
Yeah, at the end of every episode, Rhett, my role is to give my takeaway.
Okay.
Ano bang takeaway ko dito, no? Of course, I would like to thank you for accepting our invitation, no?
My pleasure, Mayor.
Akong takeaway, ngayon ko lang na-realize, Rhett, Ayala, the Seda Hotel was opened in 2012. And, the first thing that occurred to me was, wow, this was just months after Sindong. Or it opened December, 1 year. December 16 ang Sindong.
Okay.
So, 1 year after Sindong, nag-inaugurate ang Seda dito sa Cagayan de Oro. There's no other way of looking at it than it was a leap of faith of the Ayala Group, no? And I say that I became mayor only in 2013, no? So, kung gini, no? Decision ng Ayala on its own. And ano ako dyan, I hope the people of Cagayan de Oro appreciate that, no? The confidence, the trust, the level of confidence of Ayala and the people of Ayala. And Ayala is not a business organization that is very aggressive, no? Especially sa land.
Yeah.
Ano yan, that's why it's the Ayala Land Group, the land subsidiary of real estate subsidiary of Ayala is very solid, no? Because it's really very, very thorough, very deliberate, very deep in its decisions, no? And maganda itong ano, in spite of what happened, Ayala decided to push through with its plan.
Yes.
And now it's, ano na, for ilang years na?
14 years.
14
Mayor.
years na. Wow.
On our 14th year.
And now we know na ang hotel business, that level, 4, 5-star level, medyo short na. Medyo short na, no? But and we'd like to thank kayong nauna.
Yeah.
Yes.
You started it.
Yes, that's the...
You started, you were really the trailblazer.
Yeah, we're very proud to acknowledge that.
That's very, very, I would say, heartwarming. Given na ang Ayala is nasa Manila, manggit sila, no? And, pero believing in Cagayan de Oro, believing in Mindanao is something that really...
And if I may, come to think of it, it's not only in Cagayan de Oro where we've like really set the tone.
Yeah.
You know, you look at the 12 properties in its own strategic locations. It's they've always been there. They're the first one really who kind of like again paved the way for the others to
That's good.
to follow. So
Bacolod, Iloilo.
yeah, I guess that's what Ayala is that has earned in a way because it's almost like 2 centuries of like like running you know, a business. So it I mean that alone says a lot.
And talking about hotel, aside from insular life, I know Ayala was also into Davao. Ayala was also in Davao. Ano ba yun? Insular something? Insular hotel. The one that and it was one of the really the
so the
biggest
people are
hotels
like
in Davao.
the brain, the persons behind it are like really visionaries. That's all I can say.
Ano din ngayon, Ayala has done it alone as Ayala Group. No, whereas before Ayala was more of a passive partner, the provider of the land, but the hotel was being run by foreign groups. Pero ngayon, Ayala does it alone. So that is also a vote of confidence of the Filipino, of the Filipino.
Yes,
The Filipinos can manage hotels. Can manage hotels na kayang-kaya nating i-manage at the same level, if not better, than foreign managers.
I like the way Mayor said it.
Yeah.
Galing. Thank you. Good luck, Rhett. Good luck.
Thank you, sir. Yes, attorney, thank you very much. And of course, Sir Rhett, for coming over. And sa tanan nga nakiguban, daghang salamat ug may ngapon kaninyong tanan.